Hello, class. Today I'm going to read a poem to you titled Ghazal, America the Beautiful. A ghazal is a type of poem. This one is written by Alicia Ostreicher. And before we read this, we're going to take a look at the dimensions of setting. We went over recently the layers of setting, the micro, meso, and macro, and their influences upon the character. In this case, each layer also has a dimension to it. So let me review the idea of dimensions of setting. You have spatial. Spatial is the place in which the story occurs. That's pretty much what you all expect when I ask what is setting, and you tell me it's time and place. Well, spatial means place. Temporal is the time, which may be a moment, an hour of the day, a season of the year, or even a historical event. Social would be the personal influences on the characters based on the setting of the story. Think of peer pressure, family influences, or societal expectations. And lastly, psychological. Psychological is how the setting impacts the thoughts and emotions of the character. So as I read this poem, think about these four dimensions of setting. Do you remember our earnestness? Our sincerity in first grade when we learned to sing America the Beautiful, along with the Star-Spangled Banner, and say the Pledge of Allegiance to America. We put our hands over our first grade hearts. We felt proud to be citizens of America. I said, one nation invisible until corrected. Maybe I was right about America. School days, dear old golden rule days, when we learned how to behave in America. What to wear, how to smoke, how to despise our parents who didn't understand us or America. Only later learning the banner and the beautiful live on opposite sides of the street in America. Only later discovering the nation is divisible by money or power, by color, by gender, by sex. America, we comprehend it now. This land is two lands, one triumphant bully, one still hopeful America. Imagining amber waves of grain blowing in the wind, purple mountains, and no homeless in America. Somehow I still put my hand tenderly on my heart. Somehow or other still carried away by America. Just a few notes. Amber waves of grain is an allusion to the song America the Beautiful. And Blowing in the Wind is a reference to the song the same name by Bob Dylan, who composed songs in support of the civil rights movement and the anti-Vietnam War movement. You also have this reference of school days, dear old golden rule days. That's a very old-time song. And so the writer is sort of hearkening back to when we were little and we were in elementary school and everything seemed good. Everything seemed right in America at that time. So unpacking this using our Freyer model, so let's take a quick look here. Since spatial is the place in which the story occurs, well, we know that the story is taking place. It takes place, where the poem takes place in the United States. With references to a first grade classroom. Now, temporal is the time. The author is remembering her childhood and her innocence at the time. When she said the pledge, and sang patriotic songs. It is taking place now. In the present time. But she is remembering back. Okay, think about the social. There's a lot going on here, actually. And it's almost split. At the beginning, think of how easily children are influenced by teachers and society to honor and revere the United States. Later, as the poet grew older, probably around her teens, she looked at America differently. And recognized its flaws. Okay, so that would be the social. Think about the people around her, her teachers and her peers. And then lastly, the psychological. Psychological is her thinking. The author is somewhat cynical, or is somewhat jaded. And jaded means they have kind of a negative view of America. But remains hopeful that the promise of America can still be achieved. Take a look at the poem again. It says right down here, somehow I put my hand tenderly on my heart, somehow or other, still carried away by America. And up here it says, we comprehend it now. This land is two lands, one triumphal bully, one still hopeful America. And she views herself as part of hopeful America. So your task at this point is to read this poem and then consider the different layers. I've pretty much added in what you needed to know, but I need you to answer, what is the poem's temporal setting and why is the setting important? I need you to tell me that half. What is the poem's spatial setting and why is that important or meaningful? What is the poem's social psychological setting? Why is this important or meaningful? Then you're going to write an essay. And the theme of this poem, America the Beautiful, is, and I tell you what, I started your topic sentence. So you're going to tell me what you think the theme is. What message is it sending to the readers? Then you need to briefly explain what the poem is about. Do that in your own words. Provide textual evidence to support your theme. Explain how this evidence supports the theme, so I need that explanation, and then a concluding sentence. What should I, the reader of your essay, understand after reading this poem? So this is your assignment. As always, remember you are to be in touch with me if you have any questions or concerns. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.